All right, so in the last section, we talked a little bit about how can we summarize a single series, right? How can we get a summary statistic, a single summary statistic for a single series? We're going to build onto that. And in this reading, you learned a little bit about how can we do summary statistics for multiple variables at a time, and then also how can we do summary statistics and get a data frame in return. Okay, and this is very common. Lots of times we are not looking for a single summary statistic on a single column. We're looking for maybe 1, 2, 3, or multiple summary stats on one column, or we're looking for summary statistics across multiple columns. A lot of times we want to get that returned as a data frame, and that allows us to do follow-on analysis with that information. All right, so let's go ahead and do a quick review of what we saw. I'm going to go ahead and import our Ames data. And so we saw in the last section that we can do something such as, let's go ahead and take the sales price, and actually I believe this is sale price, there we go. And we can get a single summary statistic such as mean, right? And we saw that there's many different summary stats that we can do. Now, we can actually build onto this, and within brackets here, we could do multiple columns. So I could say I want to get the sale price, and I want to get the ground live area. And I want to get the mean. Oops. Complete my string here. And I can get the mean for both of those, right? Or I could get the median. Pretty much any of those summary stats that we saw earlier, we can do that, and we can get in return, in this case it's a series, we can see it's a series. You should be able to notice that because it's not nicely formatted. We can verify that it's a series. But we get in return multiple summary stats for these different columns. And that's great. Now, we also saw another way that we can do this, right? We saw that there is this actually there is an aggregate function, right? And this ag function is the exact same as aggregate. They're synonyms. This is just shorter, right? So what this allows us to do is to go ahead and pass a dictionary of the column, let's do sale price that we care about, along with the summary statistic that we want, such as get the mean. Now, if I do this with just one column, then we will get a series in return that has the mean for that sale price. I could build onto this, and I could say, well, hey, look, I want to get ground live area, and I also want to get the mean for that. All right, and I need to add my comma there. And now I get a series that has two elements. We have the mean for the sale price, which is right here, and we have the mean for the ground living area. Now I can actually go ahead and change this, and I could do median. So I could actually get different summary stats for the two different variables of interest here, and that's great. However, we mentioned early on, lots of times we like to get a data frame in return. Okay, so that's something that we can use ag to do. And we can use ag with a single column and a single summary stat and still return a data frame. All we need to do is change from this syntax. Recall this syntax right here provides us a series with just one element back. I could put my summary statistic in brackets, provide it as a list. Now what happens is I get my output in a data frame. Okay, and we can see how that formatting changes right away. Now the benefit of this is I could go ahead and I could say, hey, look, not only do I want to get the mean, but I want to get the median. And I get the mean and median for my sale price. And another benefit of this is I could go ahead and I could say, I also want to get the mean and the median for Am I missing quotes here? Do I have it all? I do. Okay. So now I get the mean and the median for both sale price and the ground living area, right? But what we can also do is we could add different summary stats. So let's say I want to get the max sale price, but down here I want to get the min square footage, right? You can see that we just add additional values here. Our summary stat becomes the index of this new data frame. And the columns become the columns of interest that we want to compute those summary stats on. And if we have an instance like this where we ask for one summary stat for one of the columns but not the other one, we just fill in with NaN, right? Missing number, not available. So we just fill that in our output. All right, so let's go ahead and use this knowledge to complete our knowledge check. All right, so it says fill in the blanks to compute the average number of rooms above ground. Okay, so it wants us to use this syntax right here for this first step. And so basically what we need to do is pass total rooms above ground. And the other column of interest is bedroom above ground or grade. And we want to compute the average. So we're going to go ahead and do mean. And we see in return we get a series. We get a series with the average or the mean for total rooms above ground and bedroom above ground. And we could verify that this is a series with type. And we see it is. All right, so now it says go ahead and use the AG method to do the same thing. Well, it says how does the output differ when we use the AG? Well, that kind of depends on how we decide that we want to use AG, right? So let's go ahead, and one way I could do this, I could say, all right, total rooms above ground, and we want to get the mean. And the other one is bedroom above grade, and we also want to get the mean there. And when we do it this way, we see that we actually get a series. But what we could do is say, hey, look, let's make sure we get a data frame in return. And to do so, we're going to wrap these, the summary stat that we want to call, we want to wrap that in a list or provide it to AG within a list. All right, so then it says fill in the blanks in the below code to calculate the minimum and maximum year built and the mean and median number of garage stalls. Okay, so we've got a couple of different variables and we've got different summary stats that we want to compute for each one. So first, let's go ahead and do year built. And for that one, we want to get the mean and the median. And then for garage cars, we want to get the, what was it? The mean and the median. Okay, actually, as I reread this, we actually want to get the minimum and maximum year built. So this will be min and max for the year built. And then we wanted to get the mean and the median for the garage cars. And now when we compute that, we see we have year built, we get the min, the max. Garage cars, we get the mean and the median. But then for those where we didn't ask for that summary stat for the given variable, we just fill in with missing values.